The only restriction is what's in your mind and what you are restricting yourself.
Hi guys, welcome to a mukbang video.
Yeah.
We've got some burger patties
that
have black beans, tricolored rice, which is brown, red and black. We've got mushrooms, we've got oats tomatoes and red onion.
And spices. We've actually got a recipe video and a what I eat video coming.
Stay tuned.
Relax, it's coming. These are delicious, and we just got a whole heap of fresh veg
and
to go with that.
some ketchup.
Yum. What are you guys eating? Share with us down below.
Let us know.
Let's get started. I love these.
Yep.
Oh, if you're wondering where Luca's dipping, there's a chopping board over to the other side.
Put some ketchup on it. That was for the thumbnail earlier.
So good. Of course, you can put your burger patties in bread or a bun to make them, you know, real burgers. But we didn't have any, and it was a last-minute decision, so we just have them fresh like this. And the fresh veg is beautiful on the side.
Absolutely. Also, let us know in the comments below what plant-based burger patty recipes do you like, because there are, you can do anything. You can do anything.
We've got one on the channel already. Was that the same recipe as this?
Could be.
Can't remember what we made.
We like this combination.
I do. Alright. So today is a different mukbang. We are eating, we are talking, and we are responding to Sarah's Day. We were checking our messages, and you guys have been out of control asking for
Instagram,
a response video to Sarah's
YouTube.
Day, what I eat, why I'm no longer vegan, day in the life. So
I'm going to respond between bites.
okay, so we watched Sarah's video earlier on, and she's following the paleo diet, and it's kind of like a classic 3, 2, 1, what's going to happen. She drinks a lot of caffeine. She's binging on
chocolate, which contains theobromine, which is in the same class of chemical compounds as caffeine. It has the same stimulating effect, giving you the sense of false energy. The energy you should be getting from your food.
Yeah. She's working out a hell of a lot. She did 2 workouts in that day, and
she talks a lot about portion control.
My last video was so good, and it was like full of such good tips to not binge and manage your portions. But I got up at 5 AM yesterday, and I worked so hard. Like, I trained, and then I was doing emails. Not only was I mentally exhausted, but I was physically drained. So naturally my body was craving sugar, but instead of employing my strategies to beat the binge, I was like, screw it, I'm going to live off blue dinosaur bars and Loving Earth chocolate for the rest of the day. And I didn't regret it at the time, but now
I mean, look, we felt really sorry for her.
Yeah.
Because she is just like so many other girls that we see.
A victim of the system.
It's awful. It's disgusting what we do. Small portions, work out a lot, rely on caffeine.
And it's so old, like it gets so
just
old.
to look good, you know?
And it's exhausting because, you know, they get mentally and physically worn out, tired, drained, and they're like a mouse on a mouse wheel, you know, round and round and round.
It's a vicious cycle. And I was kind of confused because here I can see I've just got the laptop in front of me. She's got another video that says stop binge eating, but in this video she's binge eating late at night. She went through how many chocolate bars and whatever else she binged on.
Can we just say that there was no coffee in the Paleolithic period, and yet every person on a paleo diet is addicted to coffee. The reason being, they're not getting enough glucose from carbohydrates because they're all on a low carbohydrate paleo diet. And so they're craving energy, so they have to use caffeine. And they also use a lot of cacao, which is what chocolate is made from, which again contains theobromine, the stimulant I mentioned earlier. These are drugs. Caffeine and theobromine are drugs. The paleo diet couldn't work without these drugs. Take them away and it just doesn't work.
No. So it was very predictable, I guess what we're saying. Very predictable watching her video. We've seen this a million times, it's nothing new. And it makes us really sad because we see this side, and then we see how girls, and not just girls, guys as well, of course, can thrive eating a plant-based diet. And she does acknowledge this. But she comes down to it's everybody, you know, to each to their own, and everybody's different, and one diet doesn't suit everybody, which obviously the science has proven that time and time again. We're going to link a heap of resources in the description box below. It's not just opinion, it's actual science. And of course the new documentary, What the Health, they actually talk about the paleo diet in this new documentary. It's very powerful, very, very important that we have this message coming from professionals and the scientific community, because this is it's really dangerous. And it reminds us of, what's his name? Bob Harper. The fittest guy in America. Just had a heart attack at 51. You know, he's got this great looking body on the outside, but what's happening on the inside? That's what the paleo crew aren't focusing on.
Because everyone is just concerned about the physique, you know, the six-pack and what have you. You can get a six-pack on any diet. Calorie
restriction and a heap of exercise.
It's what's
That's
happening.
What she's doing.
Exactly. It's what's happening on the inside. What do your arteries look like? And animal products contain cholesterol. Plant foods don't contain cholesterol. Cholesterol is the #1 risk factor for heart disease, our #1 killer. Our bodies naturally produce all of the cholesterol that we need. We have no need whatsoever for dietary cholesterol. And yet everybody eating animal products is consuming unnecessary dietary cholesterol that clogs our arteries, leading to our #1 killer, heart disease.
Now, unless
together with saturated fat, which is very high in animal products and generally low in plant foods, whole plant foods.
It's not even up for negotiation. This is science.
They see lesions in the arteries of children.
And, you know, Dr. Greger has said it's not what diet can we put kids on to prevent heart disease. It's what diet can we put kids on to reverse the heart disease that they already have. And there's only one diet that does that. A low-fat, whole plant foods diet.
That's the only diet that has ever been clinically proven to reverse our #1 killer, heart disease. All the rest is slick marketing.
So, what we're saying is, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. And yes, of course, you can have an amazing physique as a vegan too. Let's not be stupid here. You can, of course, have abs as a vegan. But the point is that you have to think about more than just aesthetically what your body is looking like. What are you putting on the inside? That's what counts. And every time we watch one of these videos, we sit back and we feel so hungry, because all the girls talk about is portion control. And she said, I've got a really big appetite. You've got a big appetite because you're starving, you're hungry. Of course you feel like you've got a big appetite. We all do. We all need to put calories in for energy. And she's a very, very active, dynamic young girl. So she needs a lot of calories. And we're seeing, as she keeps saying, small portions, hence the binge eating. It's a formula.
We haven't been hungry in over 3 years since we adopted a predominantly whole foods, plant-based diet.
We eat abundantly, no restriction, no portion control.
Zero, as much as we care for, of whole plant foods.
And then I had a whole box of my Loving Earth Berry Bucket Berry chocolates, but honestly I feel no guilt for having the entire box, because like I said, Tegan and I trained really, really hard yesterday. My body was aching, I was starving, like I was genuinely hungry, my stomach was grumbling, so I listened to my body. However, with myself, I was vegan for, I'm probably going to get these wrong. I think I was vegan for like 6 months, and I was raw vegan for 3 months.
So again, veganism is not a diet. Please watch our recent video response to Chris. We talk about that more there.
I dabbled with veganism and started researching it because of my skin. As you guys know, this whole channel was basically made because I had extremely bad hormonal acne. I didn't really enjoy being vegan because, number one, I felt restricted. At the start it was okay, but I was always hungry. And so I talked to some...
You're always hungry because you're not eating enough. We've seen how much you're eating in this video.
We haven't.
And if this is what you're eating on animal foods, I am terrified to think about the number of calories you are eating on a plant-based diet. You have to increase the volume of food when you're eating plants. Or if you can, you can eat a high-fat vegan diet where it's calorically dense, and you can have smaller portions, of course.
Vegan friends, and they were like, oh, maybe you need to increase your fats, because when you're vegan, you're basically just living off carbs. Like, it's a very high carb diet. And
it doesn't have to be. You just need to tweak your macros. So, you know, the thing is, eating a vegan diet can be as junky and fatty as you want, or as clean and healthy as you want, and everything in between. If you want a healthy vegan diet, but you want a higher macro of protein and fats, no problem, just tweak your macros. I mean, there are so many vegan bodybuilders that are obviously eating higher fat, higher protein, then, you know, we have more of a high carb diet, but it doesn't have to be so high in carb and so low in fat and protein. Not at all.
If one is still eating a predominantly whole plant foods diet, it's going to end up being naturally higher in carbohydrates, but it can be, you know, even 55% of your calories coming from carbohydrates is still considered high carb because it's more than 50% of where your calories are coming from. But it doesn't have to be 80-10-10. It can be 60-20-20, for example, or any variation around there.
The things that you're eating are very low calorie. So technically you need to eat a lot of food to like maintain your muscle mass and all that kind of stuff. So I did it right. I read the 80-10-10 book, I read the China study, I did a lot of research and I did it in the right way.
So the 80-10-10 book is actually for raw veganism. Well, it's a raw food diet. I wouldn't call it raw veganism. It's a raw food diet. And again, we don't advocate a raw food diet because it is so hard to eat enough calories as a raw foodist.
And it's certainly not sustainable for the vast majority of the world's population.
So ignore that and just focus on whole plant foods, and then you can add as much fat and protein, tweak your macros as you want.
But I just did not feel good. Number one, I felt like I was always getting sick. Like when I'm about to get sick, I get a really sore throat and I feel lethargic and tired, and I felt like that all the time. And
There have been times, for various reasons, very rarely.
Usually when we're traveling or there's just a difference in our routine.
Yeah, where I have started to feel a little run down, and as soon as that happens, like I might get a little sniffle, and I know immediately that's my body saying you haven't eaten enough calories to sustain your energy requirements. And so bang, I make sure the very next meal I'm getting all the calories that I need. So yeah, it's a telltale sign when you start to feel run down, lethargic,
low immune system,
that you're not eating enough calories and you need to eat more of them.
I do have low iron levels, like I'm naturally low in iron, so it was really hard for me to get my vitamin B in, because if you don't have enough vitamin B, then your body can't absorb iron properly. So
you're going to be prone to anemia, being low in iron, if you don't eat enough calories once again. If you eat enough calories from whole plant foods, provided you don't have iron absorption issues, you're going to get enough iron. And if you want to boost your absorption of iron, eat foods that are rich in vitamin C. Animal products don't contain vitamin C. Fruits and vegetables and whole plant foods do.
And of course you can also increase your iron-rich plant foods. So legumes.
Exactly.
Incredibly full of iron.
Dark leafy greens, dried fruits, and also it's important to take a B12 supplement, and we recommend that to anyone, be they eating a vegan diet or a non-vegan diet. I mean, they're supplementing the animal's feed with it anyway.
So you're taking the supplement via the animal's body.
It was a whole other story. So I was always lightheaded, I felt really weak at the gym, I lost all of my muscle mass.
Not enough calories. Just, we've seen it so many times. We've seen it so many times.
My body, like I can consume a lot of protein and a lot of fat and stay pretty lean. Like my body needs a lot of protein to function. I am quite a low body fat percentage, so I do need a lot of protein, and I feel like I run the best of animal protein. And also I'm intolerant to...
The human protein requirements are by and large very small. For example, human breast milk contains, I think, is it 5% protein or thereabouts? And now that is at the stage when we are growing most rapidly as babies, So that gives you an indication of what our protein requirements are going to be as an adult. They're going to be quite small. If you want to eat more protein, go for it. Just eat plants that are higher in protein and eat more of them. But in terms of, you know, what our bodies actually require to run, human breast milk protein percentage gives us an indicator.
And you can also use a vegan protein powder if you want to.
And I didn't know that at the time, but I was always feeling sick and my stomach was always in knots, and I just always felt locked up. My digestion was not good. Then the cravings.
But in this video, she talks about not being able to have a poop. So your digestion isn't good now anyway. And I'm thinking she's going to blame that on the binging that she did the night before, but...
The binging can be eliminated if you simply eat enough calories from whole plant foods.
I feel so full from last night. Why do I always do this?
You need to just not do it. Like, you need to not have any. You can't.
I know, I have no portion control. I'm a food fanatic, but I think I'm just gonna get a coffee for now, see how I feel. Hopefully it makes me poop. I'm serious. I feel so full and blocked up.
I went this morning, you get off the coffee.
Yes, I love coffee, but I swear half the reason I have it is just because it helps me do morning poop. Yes, I love coffee, but I swear half the reason I have it is just because it helps me do morning poop. I started craving tuna and eggs, yogurt, dairy. I was craving literally every single animal product. And
this is what the body does.
You've got an experience with this,
I
haven't
do.
you?
So we're going to come up 6 years vegan this year. And the only time in that entire time that I have craved animal products is we were in Bangkok doing a fast.
Which you don't recommend?
No, don't do it. Literally starving ourselves. It was just, it was so bad.
This was like 5.5 years ago at the beginning of our vegan journey.
And you know, we're doing it for health reasons. Disaster. Anyhow, I was dreaming about animal foods. I was craving my mum's chicken schnitzel above everything. And we were walking down the street. They cook a lot of meat on the side of the street, and I could just rip one of those chicken legs off the grill. I was starving and I wanted chicken so much, and I was disgusted at myself because I'm like, I'm vegan. You know, ethically, I know this is so wrong, this is so bad, but my body was driving me towards that calorically dense food.
Because it's the hunger drive that keeps us alive. Our bodies are hardwired to seek out calories in order to ensure our survival. So when we're in starvation mode, it's going to send us to calorie-dense sources. And what are the most calorie-dense sources? Animal products.
Yeah. And so this tells us 100% without doubt that she wasn't eating enough calories. This is what happens.
I'm finding it hard to eat out sometimes. Like, I have a huge appetite, and at some restaurants, like...
Again, you have a huge appetite because you're not eating enough. Okay? We all need to eat. Now, eating out at restaurants.
I could get was like a bowl of vegetables, and I didn't want to have hot chips. I was tough.
Okay, so this is where you have to, yes, as we spoke about in our recent video, you have to put in a little bit of effort. There's a great app called Happy Cow. You can look up vegan or vegan friendly or veg friendly restaurants anywhere in the world. In Australia, I'm not sure what state she's in. I don't know. But there's vegan places everywhere.
Yeah, I think Australia is like the third fastest growing vegan nation on earth. So plenty of options.
There are plenty of places that you can go that are more veg friendly. Yes, you can always get a bowl of vegetables. You can also always get a bowl of rice. Now, if you're scared of eating grains, that's a big problem, which obviously she's doing paleo, she's not eating grains now. But if you go to a restaurant and all they've got on the menu is a bowl of vegetables, you just ask them, look, can I have a serving of rice with that as well? And then you just chuck some soy sauce on top, and there you go. How many times are you going to be in that situation? I don't know, but use Happy Cow and you can find food anywhere. So you do have to take responsibility and look for the vegan options.
I was craving meat. I was having dreams about like steak and fish. It was like so weird. And then I sort of reached a turning point when I went to my uncle's farm. They have a farm and they raise cattle and like sell it for beef and stuff like that. And so I was talking to him about veganism, and he's like so beautiful and so open-minded, and he took me to like where they look after the cows, and he shows me like how they live, and it's...
But he didn't take you to the slaughterhouse to show how their throats were slit, and that is the missing link. That's where it all happens. Everybody is fine when they see the animals out in the pasture, and they're all fine when they see the meat on their plate. It's that in-between step, and until we actually witness that, it seems all okay.
Because as James Aspey said, nothing humane happens in a slaughterhouse. Nothing.
It's like, it's nothing like the documentaries you see. And that sort of opened my eyes. Like, a lot of documentaries are made from a biased perspective. Like, normally the people who are making the
Yeah, again, the documentaries show the middle missing part that the animal agriculture industry doesn't show. The slaughter part. That's what they show. You didn't observe that at your uncle's farm. You saw them in the pasture, and you've seen their body parts, dismembered, tortured body parts on your plate, but you haven't seen the middle part. So you're not comparing apples with apples here, pardon the pun. You know?
Are vegans themselves, so they'll tend to find clips of like the worst of the worst. And I'm not saying it's fake.
Okay, so...
Again, nothing humane happens in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they all get a bolt gun to the head and a knife to the throat.
She's talking about the farms, so yeah, okay, some of the treatment on the farms is... what do you want to call
Different.
it? Less bad than what are shown in some documentaries and you know, undercover footage. But it's the slaughterhouse. Forget the farm even. Look at the slaughterhouse footage, because you can't, there's no biased perspective in a slaughterhouse. There is no, oh, vegans are tinkering with it here or there. As Lucas said, the bolt cunt in the head and the knife to the throat. There is
no humane way to kill someone who wants to live.
Literally, there are some abattoirs and places that are horrible for animals, but in my opinion,
Hold on, there's no abattoir that's not horrible for animals. That's not.
Their lives are all in the same
here.
way. Bolt gun to the head, knife to the throat. How?
That's
there are no hugs and kisses that are used to kill animals.
your job and my job as a consumer to determine what you support. I always try to make sure I'm buying free range, grass-fed, organic, or even if you can find like a local farm where you can like see the chickens living, or you can like see the cows living.
Yeah.
See them being murdered, not just living. We want to see the end of the production line. Yeah. That's what you want to see.
And to be fair, years ago, before we were vegan, before we learned anything, before we saw the slaughterhouse footage, you know, we started, didn't we, with organic, free-range beef, for example, grass-fed.
Yes, we started to transition from just regular supermarket, you know, your local butcher, to specifically free-range meat.
Thinking that was somehow...
It was better, you know.
I think we were coming from a health perspective predominantly, though, weren't we?
100% for health, you know, we just weren't aware of animal rights at all.
Not knowing that grass-fed beef still contain saturated fat and cholesterol, which clog our arteries and cause our leading cause of death, heart disease.
That's right, it's not healthier. And irrespective of what kind of farm these animals come from, again, they're all killed in the same way at the end of the day. They all go to the same place. So it doesn't matter what farm you visit, it doesn't matter what the label is on the package.
That's all slick marketing. Don't buy the lies.
To make people feel good and comfortable about their bad habits, which is exactly what happened with us. We were like, oh, we're so good, look, we're doing the responsible thing, we feel so great about this choice, this change.
When in reality we were doing nothing for animals, nor our health, nor the health of the environment.
No.
Your best option. So yeah, that's sort of the animal rights section discussed. I started eating meat again and I just felt like a rush of energy after a few months.
So, Sarah says, that's sort of the animal rights section discussed, as in, we're just going to put it over there now. Yes, we're talking about the lives of innocent beings who want to live, but, you know, we're just going to pop that over there. That's neither here nor there, really, at the end of the day. You've got to do what's right for you. No.
No, you got to do what's right for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, she said when she started eating meat again that she had this rush of energy. That's because there are more calories in animal products. So she's, by default, putting more calories into her
calories
body.
Equals energy.
Yeah. That's
more energy, you're going to feel better.
I formed into like a paleo-based diet and I have never felt better. Like I've never really been able to sit down and say, I will eat this way forever. And I'm 99% sure that I can say I'm going to be paleo-based forever because
You'll be paleo-based until the health problems start, and they will start. It's inevitable. It just, you know, you're going against science here. Now, people feel better when they go to paleo for two reasons.
From a standard Western diet?
Yes, from a standard Western diet. Number one is because they drop dairy, which is fantastic. That's like the best thing about paleo. It's like the only good thing about paleo.
And I haven't seen Sarah's acne story history thing, but acne has been scientifically linked to dairy very strongly. So
you do see health benefits, you know, things improving when you drop dairy, even if you're still consuming meat.
I mean, it causes so many health problems, doesn't it?
Dairy, it's shocking. And then the second thing is paleo doesn't have like, you know, processed foods like junk foods. I mean, they still have plenty of processed foods, don't get us wrong.
For example, earlier in the video, Sarah was saying, I don't feel guilty about eating all of these bars, like chocolate bars and what have you, because they're made from whole foods. Well, a few things there. Back in the Paleolithic era, they didn't have bars, okay? They didn't have processed foods. So technically, the fact that processed bars exist with paleo labels on them counter to what they're saying. They're saying the paleo diet doesn't have processed foods. But eat a processed bar. And the other thing is, Sarah was saying it's okay, they contain whole foods, these bars. No, they don't. They've all got oil in them. Oil is a refined product, 100% refined product. It's 100% fat calories. No whole plant food in nature has just 100% of one macronutrient. It's always a combination of all three, carbs, protein and fat. So, and there's a lot of misinformation, and people are unaware of what constitutes a whole food.
Yeah. So basically, she's seeing health improvements, and a lot of people do on the paleo diet because they're dropping, you know, processed food in terms of like McDonald's and Doritos and that kind of heavily processed food, and the dairy. So that's where the benefits are coming from.
Never felt so energetic and happy and content, and I just feel like I'm not missing out. Like, I've never felt deprived on a paleo-based diet, and
You could feel that same kind of happiness, contentment and energetic on a whole plant foods vegan diet if you simply ate enough calories.
Yeah.
Craving anything, like, yeah, I crave fruit and nut mix, but I...
Oh no, you are craving. You just binged that night. You're going through boxes of chocolate, all these bars and things that she's got hidden in her car and everything. You are craving. You are binging. So, Sarah, this is important. This is dangerous stuff.
Your diet isn't working for you.
Don't lie to your audience.
And don't lie to yourself. Your diet isn't working for you. If it was, you could do it without all the caffeine, without all the theobromine in the cacao chocolate products, and without having these late night binging episodes.
And you wouldn't be worried about small portions. And I've got a big appetite and I'm always hungry, but small portions. It doesn't match up. And the danger is that this is really bad. All right, go. The danger is that this is really bad for your body on the inside. And I'll tell the story again. I mean, I've said it so many times. I was at the gym years ago talking to a woman in her, I don't know, I think she was mid-50s, a mother, following the paleo diet. I'm talking to her about the dangers of eggs and cholesterol, and she's asking me, but do you have a six-pack? I'm like, woman, I'm talking to you about your heart and your arteries. You have a family to raise, and you're worrying about muscles in my stomach? Are you out of your mind? Yeah. And this is where it starts from.
As you said in the Bob Harper video, Bob Harper had a six-pack. Bob Harper had a heart attack. They were quick to come in and say...
Heart disease was genetic for him.
Yeah, but...
When he was eating a plant-based diet, his cholesterol levels magically went down. So what, is your cholesterol levels go up and down according to genetics or according to what you're eating?
That I crave bananas, I can eat that. I crave meat, I eat it. It's just a way of living that is so conducive to my needs and...
Now don't forget, you can also have plant-based meat. You've got vegan alternatives, substitutes that taste like the real thing. I mean, we don't even eat them because they taste too real, okay? But you don't miss out on anything as a vegan. You want chicken, you got it. You want lamb, you got it. You want burgers, you know, not just like these kind, but real stuff that really... real
stuff. This isn't real. But
stuff that tastes like meat, like beef, okay? So there's no restriction. The only restriction is what's in your mind and what you are restricting yourself.
Cravings, and I think it's awesome if you can find that yourself. My channel is not about promoting a paleo-based diet. You guys ask how I eat and I tell you. If you're a vegan, that's awesome. If you're paleo, amazing. If you're a vegetarian, ketosis. If you live off Doritos, that is fine as well. Like, it's your life, it's your body, do whatever you want with it. But yeah, my thoughts on veganism are like very mellow. I'm not an extremist, like pro or against in any way. I just think...
I just wanted to say, because the paleo diet is the biggest fad diet on the planet right now, and also the ketogenic diet is right up there as well. I'm going to link a video below by Mike the Vegan debunking the ketogenic diet with hardcore science. Definitely watch that one.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we're done here. This was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, as we said before, we're going to link a heap of resources in the description box with the science, with references, with things you can look up. Don't just take it from us, take it from the doctors. This is science. This is not our opinion. We are simply parroting
the best available balance of scientific evidence. Yeah. Check it out down below, guys.
Please, you do not have to live a life where you're worried about portion control, where you're worried about cravings and binging, where you have to work out twice in a day and fuel yourself on caffeine.
Yeah.
Just to, oh God, I feel sick just thinking about it. You don't want to live like, and the thing is, you know, you can get away with it when you're very young. I don't know, obviously in her 20s or something. We're 37 this year. Not yet, but almost.
I am.
And, you know, your body changes the older you get. And you never think it's going to when you're in your 20s. You can get away with eating anything. The diet we used to have and all the things that we used to do to ourselves in our 20s, and we looked fantastic. But it catches up to you in terms of your health, in terms of your weight, in terms of your energy. The problems start coming. So take care of yourself from the inside. Take care of the planet that we collectively have to share. Take care of the animals, our cousins on this planet.
Who have survived millions of years of evolution and deserve the right to live in peace with us here on this planet that we all share and call home.
Yeah.
I mean, this paleo diet is just a derivative of one of the
Atkins
first
diet.
low-carb diets, which was the Atkins diet. Now, he suffered a heart attack following his own dietary advice. Now, he didn't die from a heart attack, because I know every Atkins defender is going to come in the comments, he didn't die of a heart attack, but he suffered a heart attack following his own dietary advice.
Anyhow, I'm going to finish this. Oh, you're already done.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to take more. I've been done more talking. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this very quick response to Sarah's day.
Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Share this around. Get the message out. You guys know the drill.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Make sure you ding the bell and check the box to receive notifications for our last video, for our upcoming videos, for everything that goes on this channel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up as well.
And remember, until next time, that going vegan, which is not a diet, is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do for ourselves, for animals, and for the planet. See you next video.
Bye, guys. What does this mean?
Fresh food takes on a whole new revolutionary face with salmonella.
That's exactly what it means. Jamie Oliver built his reputation